Hello, 4th and 5th grade. This is your video for your one lesson of social studies this week. It is a little bit longer of a lesson, so you can either sit down and do it all at once, or you could split it out over time if you want, but it's the only one for the week. So the first thing I would point out is that on the pages right before the lesson you're going to do today, there are some cool primary source objects for pioneer life, which is what we read about last time in the early history section. So you could take a look at this. Here's an old covered wagon. This would be an old-time iron. This would be a doll, a baby cradle, and then a lantern. So you could take a look at these just because it's cool. There's nothing you need to do on this page, but I thought I would just point it out. So these are pages 262 and 263. They are just right before the lesson you're going to do today. So we're still on the Midwest, and last time you guys read about the early history of the Midwest. You also did some historical map comparisons. So today's lesson is going to be about transportation in the Midwest. So how did people get around, and how did transportation change over time, and what effect did that have on everyday life? So as always, take a look at your vocab, people, and places. Do the you are there to yourself, and make sure you're looking at the illustration to go along with it. So on these first pages, we're going to talk about water transportation and how important rivers were in getting from place to place, whether humans or goods or whatever. So this section's called River Highways. So you'll read about how the rivers helped people move west. You'll also read about steamboats. On the next page will be railroad transportation. So once railroads and trains were developed, you'll read about that here and the effects that that had, which would obviously be huge. And then over here, as technology and industry and businesses grew, with that came more inventions, including the automobile industry, so cars. And then on the last page, it's just talking about mass production. So think of how long, if you were just building one car at a time, how long that would take, and how they developed things called like assembly lines, and how they were able to build things or produce things more quickly as far as manufacturing goes. But the big key here is going to be about transportation, and the three main ones you're going to be talking about are going to be water transportation, railroad transportation, and then eventually automobiles. Okay, so once you read those pages, which would be 264 through 268, then in your workbook you're going to do pages 74 and 75, but on page 74 it's just matching. So up here it says match each city's description with the letter. So these 5 answers go to these 5 choices. Down here, match each term with the correct definition, so probably some yellow highlighted words. Match them with the definitions, write the letters on the lines. Then over here, there are just 5 questions about transportation and industry in the Midwest. So read through these, use the text, use text evidence, and please write incomplete sentences with capitals and periods. It's only 5 questions, so, and it's the only one for the week. All right, when you're done, take pictures of these pages and have them sent to me. All right, thanks.